Hello, everyone. This is the Shanks Show with Shanka Ponsley and my lovely Andrea Ferguson.
Hello.
How are you today, Andrea?
I'm doing really good.
This is really nice. You're playing some background music for us that helps our state of mind get into a mode of gratitude. Gratitude is very important to have in life and in business. And for those of you out there who are watching us right now, know that you can share this live. You can also post your comments into the comment section if you have anything to contribute. Andrea, when do you use gratitude most, like the practice of gratitude most often?
Oh my goodness. And I did turn the music off because I didn't know if it was echoing twice or not, but I I'm changing my mindset about gratitude and how often to use it because I wrote some notes here about when I incorporate gratitude into my daily routine. And I think it's pretty easy to do like morning rituals or like keep a gratitude journal, all of those things. Not easy to be consistent, but it's easy to be like, okay, I'm going to be thankful or gratitude for this amount of time. But what's harder is when poop hits the fan and you have to remember to be grateful. That's a little bit harder. And so I realized then that gratitude is a practice. And just like you have to practice doing things, practice makes perfect, practice training your mind, I have started to think about like I recognize, and I think I said it this morning, that I'm really sensitive to when things go awry. And it feels like I'm almost more frazzled than before, but that's because I'm getting good at training my brain into being very calm. So yeah, now it's become when things go wrong, take a moment and pause and think about all the things that go right. So it's a practice and but yeah, so anyway, to answer your question, morning and night, I think, but what I'm going to try to do is just take the time to appreciate the little things throughout the day.
Hmm. Yeah, for me is especially the morning because as our business grows and whenever business grows, responsibility grows, things that go wrong happen more often, the pressure increases, and you find yourself in that situation sometimes where you say, Phew, is it really worth all of it? Because it's a lot of pressure to deal with. And then when I start my new day every day, I start with mindfulness. I start with meditation. And also recently, I've really rediscovered the power of affirmations. And I tell myself, I am grateful for all the blessings that we have because not only are we business owners, we also have a roof over our heads. We have an awesome set of team members. We live in a beautiful state, the state of Texas here in the United
Best
States.
state. Woo woo.
Woo! So there's so much to be grateful for, and it's really a very, very powerful tool to put everything back into the right perspective and just be grateful instead of worrying.
So
Now,
how do you do that throughout the day?
well, I honestly, during the day, I don't need it because I am so busy with what I love doing, which is leading this agency, helping people to become more visible online, helping people to have more impact on their communities. This is what we do with our agency. On the one hand, of course, we do the work for our clients. On the other hand, we have the Shanks.vip group where we help people all over the world be more impactful. And that's just the power of doing what you are passionate about. So, there's these two camps of Like the one people say having to do what you're passionate about is a bunch of bullshit because you just got to do what works and what brings in money. But for me as a business owner, at least in my humble opinion, I have always needed that passion to go through these tough times that business ownership gives you. But then I forget, like I'm not ungrateful during the day because my mind doesn't have time to even think about not being grateful, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So I'm looking at the definition of like what is gratitude to begin with, and I find that it's an act. It's an act of feeling thankful and appreciative for the things, people, and experiences in your life. It's a
Mhm.
simple but powerful way to cultivate a positive outlook, build resilience, and improve your overall well being. And I think that's it's interesting to think of gratitude as an act rather than a feeling.
Mhm.
Like again, it goes back to having that practice and
Yeah, it kind of tells you that you are in control over gratitude because you can choose to act. Now, you can also choose your feelings, but it's a little bit harder. It has a higher degree of self-control and self-awareness that it requires. Whereas if you just act grateful, then that's kind of easy to get you in that state of mind. And I actually now remember that just and this is of course happiness, which is closely related to gratitude, I think, but just by making yourself smile and laugh, even if you don't feel like it,
I
but if
love
you
that.
like force it for a moment, it will actually trigger your body to find happiness,
I
which is
love
very
that.
interesting and powerful.
So our technical project manager, our TPM, Edward Delgado, whenever he answers the phone, because I have watched this man. Okay, so anyone who knows Edward knows that he is great with customer success,
Hmm.
and he's always front facing. He's always dealing with clients. I mean, and I always call him the rock of the company because he is so steady. Like I very rarely see him, if ever see him in a bad mood. He's always smiling and he always appears content. And I asked him, what's the secret to having like such good customer success? And he said you got to smile because customers, everybody can hear and feel a smile. They can see the smile without seeing it. And I have maintained that. And I think there's lots of tips that kind of indicate it's sort of a like an indication of what's happening to your body as well and your mind and how much it's connected. It's like, you know, how they say you can't be grateful and like miserable at the same time because it cancels itself out. So if you have these negative thoughts and you start forcing yourself to think about positive thoughts, one of the two cannot survive, and you just have to keep going until you overcome whatever you don't want, what's not desirable. So when you're on the phone or when you're talking to someone and you start smiling, you do start changing the physiology in your body. And actually, Mo Goddard talks about how the before, like when you have an emotion, it's a feeling first. Isn't that crazy? Like it's an actual feeling in your body, like a sensation, a
Hmm.
feeling. And that's why it is so powerful. Like you said, like do these things like to smile or to, and you know, we know the power of breath as well, like breathing. Just, I know Harlan Pickett also has a whole bunch of knowledge on how to breathe because he's had people on his show and his radio station. Um, for those that don't know Harlan Pickett, look him up because he has really good shows. And one of the things that, I mean, I just imagine we're doing all of the work wrong and how much it controls our feelings, you know. So I think there is a lot of connection to do. And maybe that's kind of a missing link in some of the things that we do in our day to day is not connect how we are managing our physical body to our emotions and our feelings. And that ties into gratitude to me.
Yeah, that's very well said, Andrea. And I will actually speak some gratitude towards our mentor, Shanae Moray, here, who helps us on LinkedIn. She has over 1 million followers on LinkedIn, and she teaches us to really ultimately also do good work for our clients and teach you. So if you want to kind of have a little Shanae Moret inspired daily email, go to shanks.vip. It's blended in the ticker. It's absolutely for free. And you would come into our community, for which we are very grateful. Because one thing that we will speak a lot about in the coming weeks is what you can do in 2023 to truly grow your business and also grow your impact. And we believe it is by creating communities and by creating learning opportunities. So we always lead by example. So if you want to be part of our community, Shanks.vip is it. Now,
Like,
hmm?
I have something to tell you, but go ahead.
Yeah, this morning, don't forget, hang on to your thought. This morning, Shanae told us, why don't you show a nice photo of some Christmas decoration at your home? Now, Andrea and I, we are so busy that we haven't gotten our Christmas decoration up yet. I doubt that it will happen because we'll
It's
go.
not gonna happen.
Yeah,
When have we ever put up Christmas decorations? I think when Blanche was here.
we'll
Just
go
kidding.
to Amsterdam soon and
I'm still
spend.
not put up Christmas decorations.
But we have beautiful pictures. And I'm gonna show blend those in now because they're really. So 2 weeks ago, I was in Bali for a mastermind with another mentor of mine, John Lee, and we stayed at this beautiful resort for which I am still very grateful. And one of the main religions in Bali is Hinduism, and there's also a lot of Buddhists there. So they have these beautiful statues all over. And in the resort that I stayed at, we had this just, these statues planted throughout the resort. And this is a beautiful one here. And then we spoke about this technique of zooming in on a part of your object of photography, and that gives this great professional look. Like, for example, look here, how this just has a very polished professional um, feel to it. And Andrea, you were in all your gratitude this morning, you were looking for beautiful items in our home, and we have these nice flowers here. I think I pronounced it poinsettia. Is that correct?
Poinsettias is how I say it.
Yeah. So there we go. And just this strategy, this photography technique of zooming in on your object, blurring the background, which gives you a field of that situation, and yeah, it just gives nice impressions, and that's what I have on Troya.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Well, what you don't know is that we all did affirmations this morning before we started our day as a team. And I think that is absolutely a practice that we're going to do more often because it just puts you in the right mindset and it's like I think I'm going to start training my mind to look at these practices as like the acts that I do as a part of gratitude. I'm going to start looking at them like little supplements that you take every day, daily,
Mm.
multiple times a day, depending on what it is. Because I think one of the traps that we fall into, and it's very easy, is to think you've said your thank yous, you've thought about your 15 things you're grateful for, and then you set it and forget it and go about your day as if life doesn't whap you in the face sometimes or give you a left hook or something
All the
challenging.
time.
all the time, all the
Should
time.
be in business, get used to that.
And if you think about, like, you eat 3 square meals a day, and sometimes you get hungry, sometimes you're less hungry, but if you don't snack, you don't drink water, you don't replenish yourself, you're just gonna be starving, you'll be hungry, and I think too often I have been going through like, "Well, I did what I needed to do, I said my did my routine and all of this stuff," and then don't respond through the day with those acts that can rewire my brain and help me to be able to better deal. So I would say for everybody that's listening, challenge yourself to make a daily practice, but multiple times throughout the day of just being grateful, having that heart of gratitude, thinking about all of the things, the people, the experiences in your life, all of those things that give you reasons to be thankful, and again, that builds resilience. But another thing is if you have absolutely nothing else to be grateful for, just think about all of the like physical, superficial things that you have to be grateful. Like, I love my gadgets. I'm in love with my Rodecaster. I like my DJ set. I love my phone, and I like my aromatherapies
You
from
like your
every.
Shankar.
Yeah, and my shanks. Here, all of these things, there's always a reason. There's always something that you like, and to just think about that, and also nature.
Mhm.
Nature is healing as well. I mean, we'll have to talk another day about the things that nature can do and the reasons why it is suggested, even in primary care, you will
Mm.
have some physicians that tell you to walk, not just to get out and burn some calories, but to actually experience nature and let that change your mood and your mind and your heart. So that can literally, physiologically, biologically, chemically make changes in your brain as you receive like norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, whatever, all of those neurotransmitters and all that. I'm not a neuroscientist, but I know something about how you can rewire your brain. So even if it's cold, maybe just go look outside. And if nothing else, remember all of the good times that when it wasn't cold. And then think about how it will come back. So that's all I have. Um,
Alright.
I
I
am
think
grateful for
that
you.
was plenty. Thank you. We are very grateful for our viewers, who really fuel our desire to do this. So if you are with us even after we have stopped being live and you still see this on our profile, please let us know what you're grateful for today, and um,
Drop a comment.
drop a
Let
comment.
us know. Yeah, it's a really good call to action.
Yeah.
Let us know something that you're grateful for.
Okay. And also, if you have one of those pictures that you are really proud of and that kind of fit the vibe of the holidays, the end of the year, gratitude, add those in the comments as well. That would make us very happy.
Close this out.
Well, I'm just enjoying the music. All right, guys. See you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.